we have an HR professional who will speak to us about resume and CV review and LinkedIn optimization. So without much further ado, I would like to bring up Mr. Damilola Afolayan. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can we hear me, please?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Am I audible? All right. Thank you. It's really a pleasure being here today. And I'll apologize if you are hearing any background noise because I already left where I could comfortably hold this meeting. I hope we're able to grab something quality out of this. So, once again, good afternoon. A quick question before I start. I want to ask, okay, thank you. How many of us have a LinkedIn profile? If you do, can you just say yes, type yes in the chat box if you have a LinkedIn profile? Yeah, if you have a LinkedIn profile, just type yes in the chat box or use an emoji to signify. Okay, okay. I can see a couple of us responding. Yes, thank you so much. All right, so that takes me to the next question, which is since we have a LinkedIn profile, or since you had your LinkedIn profile, have you ever actually gotten a job or an opportunity directly from LinkedIn? If yes, you can type it. If no, type no. If you've ever actually gotten a job or an opportunity directly from LinkedIn. Okay. Someone says yes. Okay. 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 Someone says no as well. Okay. All right. Thank you. So this is going to bring me to before they start sharing my slides. So I just want to say that most of the time, when we have so many people who say they haven't gotten any job from LinkedIn, it's always as a result of the way you have positioned your profile, the way you have positioned yourself to be on LinkedIn. So I'm waiting for my slides to come up. All right. So we'll be touching some LinkedIn revamping, how to revamp your LinkedIn profile that positions you to make employers source for you. Most of the time, when employers need someone to fill a particular role, they just go on LinkedIn to search, and whoever the profile is positioned properly for that role that they are looking for, they reach out to them. Because most of the jobs that we see on LinkedIn that are being posted every day, every time, over hundreds of people are already applying. And it's always a very highly competitive space. So the competition might not be really tough on those who already have their LinkedIn profile set up to attract employers themselves. So it's different from you having to go into the struggle of the job pool where hundreds of people are applying from, compared to someone who is just you are there and it is employers, it is brands, it is organizations who come to your DM to offer you or to throw to you what they want out of what they've seen from your profile. So that is what brought about this question. All right, I'll just pick from my slides here because I'm sorry I cannot even share my screen right now because I'm no longer with my laptop. So I want to understand that the people that we have in this room, we have recent graduates, some are still students, and the goal is to break into health tech. Please let's confirm if you can still hear me. I want to be sure. I want this to be as interactive as possible. Okay, thank you so much for the emojis. So those we have in this room, the people with clinical backgrounds, these are the people in medicine. Oh, thank you. I can see the screen now. Medicine, nursing, pharmacy, deep domain knowledge, those that need to surface transferable tech skills, and those struggling to speak the language recruiters want. So these are the people with the clinical backgrounds, because I just want to understand those that I'm in the room with, and we know how to get the best out of the few minutes I have to speak here. So you have the clinical background, but you want to surface your transferable tech skills, or you're struggling to speak the language that recruiters want. Most of the time, when I look at some people's CV, it's always looking generic, because when I see the same sentence from over 100 applicants, when you put your objective, what is the objective, and everybody is having the same thing, it's most times just boring, and it pushes me to just skip and skip and skip until we have someone whose CV is well positioned. So if you do not even know how to position your CV, it's just like your LinkedIn page is a CV on its own that can help recruiter understand you, and they can reach out to you. Then your CV itself that you are pushing out to recruiters is a way of you marketing yourself. So if these things are not well tailored, well positioned, it will just cause you to be on the list of those that they push aside, which is not supposed to be. And the other people I have in the room here, those with tech backgrounds, okay, computer science, engineering, those with strong technical skills, those that need to show healthcare interest, and those that must prove domain knowledge to healthcare recruiters. Yes. So the next slide, please. Thank you. Now, the CV, your CV is not the record of everything you have done. It is a marketing document for the specific role that you want. One mistake I have seen so many recruiters do is they always assume that their CV is a one size fits all. I hope you understand what I'm saying. They feel like once I have built one CV, I can push it out for any job I see and it is going to stand out. Of which that is a fallacy, that is a huge lie, because your CV has to be presented differently for different roles. When you have a role, you want to apply for a particular role. Let me say, for example, you have BSc in mass communication and you want to apply for the role of a presenter, but you did your internship in a newspaper organization where you already have the skills and the knowledge of what newspaper columns, how they generate those things, the way they work. You have that experience already, but you now want to apply. You see an opportunity for applying for the role of a broadcaster. The CV that you have had that only shows your experience on the newspaper knowledge that you have acquired is not enough for you to push for the role of a broadcaster. You need to tailor your CV to show yourself the way the good book says, to show yourself approved. So your CV has to show that you are fit for that role. So for the experience of the newspaper, it is not supposed to be the top. What is supposed to be the top is what your employer is looking for. I want to apply for that broadcaster role. Then you need to give us that background knowledge of you being a mass com, the things that interest you about being a broadcaster. What are other things that you have done? Maybe you speak to a couple of people, you rehearse inside your own space. Just come up with things that shows your interest for this particular role. So one of the other things that I see too that is very common with people's CV that is a problem is the objective. I mentioned something earlier that some objectives in CVs are so generic. For example, what I always see most of the time is when people put objective at the top of their CV, it's always having to obtain a position where I can use my skills. This is one thing that every recruiter has seen a million times, and it adds zero value to your CV. I hope we are following, please. Let me be sure that we are still on track. Are we here, please? I need some emojis to be sure that I've not been speaking with myself. Okay, thank you, Blessing. Any other person? I need to be sure. All right, Idris. Okay, thank you. So the generic part, that's objective, is always a thing that has been common. And I feel like we've come to a generation where we need to be able to sell ourselves. You need to be able to sell yourselves. I'm tired of seeing you want to obtain this position so you can use your skills. The other 999 candidates, what are they coming to do? Isn't it the same thing? So it is too generic. You need to come up with something that makes you stand exceptional. And another one, duties versus impact. When you say assisted the pharmacist, it tells what the role was and it says nothing about what you brought to it. I'll be showing a CV as a sample, but on this slide, I'm trying to spot some problems that people have in CVs. When you leave the objective part and you start talking about your experiences, maybe you worked as a pharmacy assistant and you just put it there, pharmacist assistant. What are the duties you performed while you were on that role? You assisted the pharmacist. You assisted in shelving. You assisted in whenever they want to attend to patients or customers over the counter. You assist in that. It doesn't really say much about what you brought to it. What are the things that you brought to it? These things you are not putting them in your CV. Why? It is going to make you not fit. You need to tell yourself what are the things you brought into your role that shows how much of a value you are. Then another thing is hidden skills. The most relevant thing for a health tech role is often buried or missing from the CV entirely. Some of us have so many skills that you know will be very valuable. But the moment you are missing them out from your CV, it buries your CV, it takes your CV off the surface. I cannot be good in listening. I have good customer service. I know how to listen to people attentively and relay their problems to the pharmacist that is on duty. Maybe the pharmacist is attending to somebody else, and I can listen to another person and relay it. I have a proper way of keeping records. All of these things, I should be able to put them in my CV appropriately. Not that I just say, oh, I assist the pharmacist. It is not selling me enough. So please, can we display my slides? I want to show a CV sample. So I have a CV sample here. It is Adese's CV, and it's a CV that I want us to go through together so we can see. All right, are we there, please? Okay, thank you. All right, if the screen is not coming up, so let me just tell the details of what we have on this CV. This is Adese's CV. Adese is a pharmacy graduate and she's applying for health tech roles, but she keeps getting zero callbacks. So nobody reaches out to her, they don't give her feedback. All she just knows is that she keeps applying. Now, these are the details of her CV. First, the objective. Adese says that her objective is to obtain a position in a reputable local organization where she can use her skills and experience to contribute to the growth of the company. Then, moving to work experience. Her work experience, pharmacy intern at Greenfield Community Pharmacy. Then, what were the things she did? First, dispensed medication to patients, assisted the pharmacist on duty, maintained patients' records. Then the skills she have, Microsoft Office, communication, teamwork, and she's hardworking. Please, can anybody tell me what is wrong in this CV that I just read? Please, I want this to be interactive. I wish we could see this CV, but I just said what she has in her experience, in her objective. What do you think is wrong with this CV presentation? Her work experience is as a pharmacy intern. All she did was dispensed medications to patients, assisted pharmacists on duty, and maintained patients' records.
Well,
Anybody?
okay. Yes,
All
Akinpelu
right.
speaking. Yeah,
Okay,
so
thank you so much. Go ahead.
what I observe here is that the person is this CV speaks so much into what the person is being told to do, not exactly what the person actually contributed out of ingenuity. So that's what I can say.
Thank you so much. That is a very brilliant one. Thank you so much. Any other person? Okay, moving on. Thank you so much, Akinkwelu. So that is a very insightful one. She only stated things that she had been told to do, and she does them. Now, she has not positioned herself to be someone of value. What do you bring, especially? So let me begin with the objective part. The objective says nothing because she says in her objective that to obtain a position in a reputable organization where I can use my skills and experience to contribute to the growth of the company. Every applicant for every job has written this exact sentence, and it wastes the most valuable real estate on the page because you just wasted that line of the objective. Everybody is saying the same thing. You want to come and use your skill. So is every other 99% that is applying for this role. They are coming to use their skill. So it is too generic. Then another thing that is wrong with her CV, the duties, not the impact. Just as Akipelumi said, she says she dispensed medications, assisted, maintained. All these things, they only describe the roles. They don't describe Adesi herself. They don't show what she brings to the job that she has been employed to do. It is only the role of what she plays at work. Another thing that is wrong is the skills, hardworking, teamwork, communication. Every human being claims these. So they mean nothing without proof. You cannot just say you are hardworking, you have teamwork. I can see 10 other people that will come up with this thing and they are ready to also give these skills on the job. Then what is going to make you stand out? And also another part of our most relevant experience is invisible. She used pharmacy management software daily and built an Excel tracker from scratch, but both are missing completely. Under her skills, she said she uses Microsoft Office, but she did not build on that part. You want to sell yourself out, you want to go into the health tech space, and nothing on your CV is showing that you have that experience of someone who is familiar with anything tech. That is a very poor CV. Now we now have to redo Adaize's CV to position her for the same role that she did that poor CV for. Now let me give you a rundown of what the current CV looks like. Adaize's current CV, in that place of objective, we replaced it with profile. Now the profile says that pharmacy graduate with hands-on experience in clinical workflows, patient data management, and digital pharmacy systems. Built internal tracking tools to improve operational efficiency, seeking to apply clinical knowledge and growing interest in health data within a health tech environment. Can you see what this is saying now? The profile just shows the things that Adaeze has as her experience and the things she also wants to learn. She's already selling herself out. Sorry, please. Sorry, I had to tell someone to bring down her voice because I'm no longer in my space. All right. So as I was saying, the profile now brings Adaeze to position herself as someone who has that tech experience, but she's still interested in growing. She manages patient data. She also has hands-work experience with the clinical workflows. This is a well positioning for profile. It is already way better than the objective that is generic. You are positioning yourself for a reputable organization. Everybody is doing that. But you, in particular, what are you doing differently? Now, let's go to the experience that she now has in her new CV. A pharmacy intern at Greenfield Community Pharmacy. Now, these are the things she has done there. Number one, managed patient medication records using Pharmacy Pro software across 50 plus daily transactions. Two, designed an Excel-based drug inventory tracker that reduced stock discrepancy reporting reporting time by 30%. And the third one, counseled patients on medication adherence, developing strong clinical communication skills. Can you see what these three things she has said, how it has presented Adaeze to be someone of value? She just said it here that she wasn't just a pharmacy assistant or she did not just work there as an intern, but these are the things that she had learned on the job and the things that she did while she was on that job as an intern. She managed the patient's medication records, and she also uses the Pharmacy Pro software. So that is, she's already positioning herself for the role of that health tech space. Because when I'm bringing somebody into that health tech space, I am seeing you as someone who doesn't just have the pharmacy skill alone, but you also have the tech skill. For anyone who has interned in a pharmacy, you know that if you work in a standard pharmacy, all your the records of all your drugs, they are on a software, on a system, and you need to be familiar with it. I will not bring someone who cannot even operate a computer to come and work in my pharmacy. If a software as simple as electroclerk for pharmacy that most pharmacy make use of in Lagos here, I don't know about other states, but in Lagos here, a couple of pharmacy make use of electroclerk, and it is very easy to navigate. If you cannot make use of something as simple as that, then you are not fit to come into that space. So you need to be skilled even beyond that, just being able to dispense drugs, just being able to shelf and organize things and assist the pharmacist. You need to be able to present yourself that you are also going with the trend, that you are understanding the tech part of it. You are understanding that at a point in time you would have to attend to clients over an app. If you can see what Aproko Doctor is doing currently, it can just with their app, I think they have Waka Doctor, just with the mobile app, they can attend to numerous complaints online. The people that he has on his team working in that part, I'm definitely sure that they will not have someone who has zero knowledge of tech. So you need to be able to position yourself that you are fit and capable of doing these things. Now, quickly to the skills that she now has on her current CV. Clinical skills. She stated it: prescription verification, patient counseling, clinical documentation. These are the clinical skills. Then she now stated the digital skills again: Pharmacy Pro, Microsoft Excel, data tracking. Then language, she put English there, very fluent. This CV alone is enough to convince me that Adaeze is a fit for the health tech space. I need someone who has the knowledge of health and also has tech knowledge. And Adeze's current CV positions are perfectly for it. Now, let me tell you the things that has changed. The way the objective has been replaced with profile. So I had already just given a rundown of everything that changed in this CV. Now, one thing we should note for this tech group is that your challenge is the opposite of Adesi. You have the technical skill. Now, what you are missing is probably the healthcare context. Most of us have not had the real hands-on experience with the health tech space. But if you have done any project, any coursework, any personal research that touches healthcare, that belongs at the top of your CV. So if anything you have done, even if not professionally, even if not in a big space, is related to a position that you want to apply for, it has to be at the top of your CV. You cannot want to apply for that health tech space and your Microsoft skill, your Excel skill, you're being able to navigate different apps, you're being able to consult AI to learn so many things, is now buried at the bottom of your CV. It is going to be a very bad thing. So you should not bury your skills that are supposed to be at the top. You should not bury them below. Because a health tech recruiter needs to believe that you care about the health and not just the code. Please, if you are following, can I see the emojis, please? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is that about the CV part. You need to be able to position your CV. And I mentioned something earlier. Your CV is not a one size fits all. You tailor your CV separately for different roles. You are applying for the health tech. Let anything that has to do with health and tech, let it be the top of your CV. You are applying for a different role that is something entirely. If you've done something related to it, let it be at the top. Let it be the first thing that would attract your recruiter. So that is that about the CV. Now let's go to the LinkedIn. Let's quickly clear two things up about the LinkedIn. So I have two myths that I stated out for LinkedIn, and this is me speaking from personal experience. So many people believe that the moment they set up their LinkedIn profile, it means opportunities will come. It is a big myth because having a profile is table stakes. It is like having a phone, and everyone has a phone. But the way you use your phone, what you do on it, is what differentiates the outcome of what you get from it. So, because you have a profile that is set on LinkedIn, does not mean it will start attracting opportunity. How often do you show up on LinkedIn? How consistent do you position yourself? These are the things that matter. Let's say, for example, I am using an iPhone 12 and I have somebody who uses an iPhone 16. I use my iPhone 12, I can record videos with it and I edit perfectly with it, and it comes out really nice because I'm able to utilize my iPhone 12. But we have someone who has an iPhone 16 that cannot understand how to properly shoot videos in a proper angle. You don't know how to make use of your editing tools. And when you do a video, when you give me the finished product, I will pick someone who has used an iPhone 12 and understood the job clearly over you who has an iPhone 16 but do not understand how to utilize your gadget. So what I'm saying is we both have the same thing. In fact, you can even have something bigger than mine, but I utilize mine properly way beyond the way you do. For example, the way I see the way so many people use Chat GPT, they use Claude AI these days, and when I see it, it's always very poor, and I feel bad about it. That you need to make use of these things because you can do better with the way you use these things. The way I use my own AI tools, the way I use my Chat GPT, you will see that sense of me being able to understand this tool to the point where you must give me what I want, not what you want to give to me, and for me to accept. So your LinkedIn profile has to be positioned in a way that it shows, it gives you visibility. So you don't just believe that once you create your profile, opportunities will start running after you. No, that is a myth. Then the second myth is that applying to every job you see on LinkedIn is a strategy. Ah, I've heard so many people break down and give up on applying for jobs on LinkedIn. Someone will tell me that they apply to nothing less than 50 jobs on LinkedIn per day. And at the end of the week, they will not get a single feedback. So, from my experience, applying randomly on LinkedIn is mostly a waste of time because those posts get hundreds of applications in hours. Can anybody agree with me on this? Thank you. So okay. This makes me believe that I'm not. This is not just me cooking things up. It is the reality of it. The people who actually get opportunities are the ones who built their profile properly and became visible before the job was even posted. When a recruiter needs someone, they search, and your job is to be findable. Your job is that you've already positioned yourself, and anybody who needs your service can reach out to you. I remember when I started creating content 2 years ago and talking about work related things, HR related stuff, how to ace interviews within a snap of finger, how to prepare yourselves for interviews, and you are making your interviews very, very interesting. So I started creating that content 2 years ago. I never knew that these things, so many people were noticing. It was positioning me that at a point in time, I started having several DMs where people tell me that they want me to help them recruit. They want me to help them train people that they want to onboard. This is me not applying for these jobs. I did not apply for them. It just happened that I had positioned myself and made myself readily available that when the opportunity comes, they meet me prepared. So before anybody would even reach out to me, I'm so sure that they must have gone through my profile, gone through my page, and they have been convinced to the point where they feel that the next thing to do is to hit me up in my DM. That is what your profile should look like. Your profile should be able to position you that employers will be the one finding you. You must be findable. So moving on to the next one. Now, so I wish we could have somebody's LinkedIn profile to run something through and see one or two things. It's not in a bid to maybe embarrass anybody. It's just to see how we can make our LinkedIn page better. But because of time, let me just highlight 5 things that we should look out for. For everyone who has a LinkedIn page here, or anyone who is planning to have a LinkedIn page, these are the things you must be very observant of. And if you have a LinkedIn page already, please put these things down. And after this call, after this meeting, you go and cross check your LinkedIn page and see if they meet with this criteria. Okay, we have Akinpelu sharing his LinkedIn page. All right, I would want to go to his page and let me see if it's possible for me to share my screen and we go through Akinpelu's LinkedIn page together. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. All right, please can you see my screen? Hey, I think I have a bad internet here where I am.
Yes, we
Uh,
can, but it's still loading.
okay, it's still loading. The network is so poor where I am, and I'm using an MTN 5G, and it's disappointing me so bad. Okay, so while this is loading, let me just quickly talk about things that we should look out for on our CV. Number one thing is the headline. Does it say more than just your degree? For example, pharmacy graduates, health data enthusiasts, seeking health tech roles. Tells three things immediately. So you need to ensure that your headline says more than just your degree. Okay, this is not loading. I think I'll just have to close because the network is so bad here. It's not even opening LinkedIn and it's unfair. It's very unfair to me and to us here. So okay, I'll just continue. So the first thing I mentioned, your headline. You need to ensure that your headline says more than just your degree. Okay, Blessing, you're raising your hand. Do you want to say something, please?
Yes, yes. We would like to try and open the LinkedIn profile from here so you can see it.
All right, that would be perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead, please.
Follow me, please. Can you do that?
Okay, so while that is on, your headline must say three things immediately and not just your degree. When you say you're a pharmacy graduate, then what tech skill do you have? Health data enthusiast that is seeking health tech roles. That alone shows that this is where you're coming from, this is where you are, and this is where you are looking forward to go or looking forward to being in the nearest future. That is what your headline should say. It must say the service you are rendering or what the outcome of what you are to do is going to be. That is the headline part. Then secondly, your profile photo. It has to be professional. Your profile photo must have a clean background, good lighting, and you looking at the camera. Your profile photo is not a model shot where you are looking away or you are giving an unaware gesture. So we need to understand that your profile picture has to present you as a professional. Then the third one is your about section. Is your about section blank or is it just a copy of your CV objective? Because your about section is supposed to sound like a real person and it must show that it is a real person that wrote it and it ends with what you are looking for. Whatever you have in your about section, please put it down. It must sound like this is written by a real person and at the end of it, it must tell what you're looking for. Please, are you still presenting the LinkedIn profile? I want to be sure I'm not the one missing out on it.
Yes, you will see it very soon.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I hope we understand that part, the about section. What are the three things I've mentioned? Number one, the headline, your profile photo, the about section. Are we with me? All right, thank you. So the fourth thing you should look out for is your experience section. Your experience section has the same rules as the CV. It is what did you achieve, not just what your job description is. It has to be your impact. What are the impacts you made on the jobs that you previously worked, the places you interned when you were put in a position during your NYSC camp, the things that you did, the value that you added to those things that you did, the jobs, the roles that were handed over to you, what were your impact on those things? That is what your experience section should talk about. It's just the same rule as your CV. Then the fifth one is activity. How active are you on LinkedIn? When last did you post? What are the things you comment on? What are the things you engage? Because when you do not have any activity, you don't exist to the algorithm. I hope you're getting me. If you are not actively active on LinkedIn, then you are a ghost to the LinkedIn algorithm. You don't need to post daily, actually, but you need to show up. You can comment on people's posts, not just anyhow posts. It has to be something related to what you want to be seen for, what you want to be known for. So these are the things that must show your activity. For example, someone sent me a DM on LinkedIn. It was 2 days ago. The person shared with me an opportunity that they want to have me on. He sent a form alongside what he sent. He said, okay, they went through my profile and they saw that my profile stands out for what they are looking for. And when the moment I saw it, the first thing I did before even replying was to go to the person's profile. Guess what? The first thing I saw on the person's profile, the person posted a month ago about a new certification that he acquired. But before that post, the last post the person made was 3 years ago. Isn't that funny? The last post, the last activity the person had on LinkedIn was 3 years ago. Instantly, it became skeptical to me. It became instantly skeptical that I had to run the person's message, the website, the company it says they are working from. It says I'm an American company, but he is a Nigerian, blah 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 blah. I ran it through AI and we found out myself and my chat GPT. I don't use chat GPT, I use Cloud, the paid version. So we found out that the website exists, but what the person is pushing out to me does not even relate with what the company stands for. So I was able to discover that. But what I'm saying is the first thing an employer would look out for in this activity part, how active are you? So by default, when I saw the message, or if any message should come in from anybody, and it's you trying to like maybe you need my service, I want to first go through your profile. I want to see what you stand for. I want to see the things you engage. So when I saw that, they were the first red flags I saw. Your last post was a month ago about a certification you just got. Then before that certification that you posted a month ago, your last activity was 3 years ago. Who does that? No, it doesn't work on LinkedIn that way if you are serious about it. So, all right, so unfortunately, we could not have any CV displayed. So the final thing I have here in conclusion is for me to tell you that you should remember these things. Number one thing, your CV is a marketing document, not a record of everything you have done. It is what you use to market yourself, what you use to position yourself. Your CV is your brand. It is you as a brand. Secondly, your most relevant experience for health tech might already exist, but it just needs to be visible. You need to make yourself yearn for visibility. Before I started creating content, before I started pushing what I do online, I have been doing all these things. Only people in my small circle, in my small community, knew about this. But the moment I started appearing online, the visibility became a wider thing. That at the point I started talking to people about clamoring for visibility. No matter what you do, no matter the business you are doing, you need to ensure that visibility, when you show up all the time, when you show up regularly, people will not forget your face. When people don't need your service at that moment, anytime they are going to do need your service, the first person that will come to their mind is the person they see often and they remember instantly. So you must push for visibility. And thirdly, LinkedIn rewards the consistent and the specific. Build the profile, show up, and be findable. This is just a summary of what I have said. You must be specific with what you are doing on LinkedIn, the kind of posts you engage, the kind of things you post. How consistent are you? Then finally, before they meet you, they see your CV and your LinkedIn. You need to make them count. I handle my social media in a way that when you come to my profile, the first few things you see must be able to tell the kind of person I am. Even when I am not there, my profile is already speaking for me. When I am not there, my LinkedIn page should be able to talk about me and what I stand for in a way that doesn't confuse people that are coming in. So I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince and not to confuse you that your LinkedIn and your CV is you as a brand.
Thank you very much, Mr. Afolayan. Well, now we have a LinkedIn page being shared on the screen. Could you still have
Okay.
run a review of this page?
Okay. Do you still want? Okay, like you want us to have a review of the page? If it is still available, sure, I can do that.
Yes, it's currently being shared. Can you see it from your end?
Oops, I'm not seeing it here yet. I can't see it here. Can any other person see it? I want to be sure I'm not just the only one. I hope it's
I
not my
can see
network trying to break my
I
heart.
can see it.
Hey, oh, this is not good enough for me. I can't see anything on my screen here. It's only showing that you're presenting, and I cannot see what you're presenting.
All right.
I feel bad right now for this CV thing.
Well,
Okay, so while I'm waiting, maybe it's my network. So while I'm waiting, I want to quickly touch something. So those with no tech or clinical skills, what can they do? You do not have a tech skill. What can you do? I always say something. There is room for improvement. There is room to get better every day. As a matter of fact, I remember. It's not even remember. It is what I actively do all the time. I think within every 6 months, I am learning a new skill online. Currently, I am I am 4 courses away from being a Google certified digital marketer. But currently, I am already identifying as a Google digital marketer because I already have 4 certifications out of the 8. And this is because I yearn for knowledge all the time. I have several other certifications because it's a thing of I always feel like I need to keep my mind busy. And whatever I need to do, whatever I want to learn, whatever I want to know how to do, I find ways to go about it and achieve it. So for someone who has no tech skill, one thing I always tell people is start from somewhere. Let me tell you a logic I use that works for me. When I wanted to start creating content, even till now, I've not hired a video editor for my content. But because people see my content that I do, I shoot content for my church as well, and I edit the content. People see them, they now reach out to me to be their video editor. And I'm like, I'm not officially identifying as a video editor, but why are these guys coming to me to edit their videos? Why? Me being good with editing video happened to be self-taught. What I did when I wanted to start learning video editing was every morning when I wake up, my first 1 hour of the day, I spend it on YouTube. The first thing I do is I watch videos relating to video editing. And this did not just happen with video editing, it transcended to every other thing I want to learn, anything I want to learn. When I wanted to start getting better with public speaking, I go to YouTube and watch from people who are professionals. I spend 1 hour of the day, my first hour in the morning, I spend it watching and learning. It is a thing that I have advised people to do, and they come back to tell me how effective it works. I have a boy in my house. He wants to go into, I think, JavaScript, all these people that do web development and all of that. But he's a fresh graduate and he just wants to go into tech. I told him, I think he just finished his OND and he wants to do a direct entry for BSc to do something related to tech. I said, before your admission is going to come out, spend 1 hour of your morning every day, spend it on YouTube, search for JavaScript for beginners, search for anything related to what you want to do For beginners, YouTube has everything. I said it in one of my videos I posted online that YouTube is a university that is free. I'm sorry, I had to respond to somebody asking if my network is good because my network is the reason I cannot see the screen presentation and I'm not happy about it. So, as I was saying, YouTube is a university that you can learn a million things for free. So, you don't have a clinical experience, you don't have a tech experience, but you want to learn. Dedicate your time to YouTube. You will find everything you need. There is nothing you want to search for that people have not done online. You will find it and you will get your answers. But you need to be committed. You need to be consistent. Not that you watch one today and in the next 2 weeks you are off the radar and you're not searching for it again. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to be disciplined and committed to it. That this thing I want to know it. I want to get better at it. Till today, I still watch videos on video editing because I still want to get better than I am. In fact, the clients I have worked for when it comes to video editing, the features of editing I had done on their videos, I have not done half of it with my own personal videos. As at this morning, I delivered 2 videos to 2 different clients this morning. And I don't even talk about it online that I am a video editor. Because how many things am I going to identify as online? But these people, they see my work and it is my work speaking for me. So this is me still going back to reiterate on the point that I said. What you have appeared as, your CV is going to position you for opportunities. The things I do, even if it is me doing it for other people, they are presenting me as someone who understands the game. I know my onions and I am doing it better. So you don't have a clinical experience, you don't have a tech experience. I hope I've been able to answer this. You can start from somewhere. Begin from YouTube. I always beat my chest when it comes to beginning from YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for so and so that you want to learn for beginners, and you will see several, and you are going to catch up and get better at it. So, is there okay? I would want to exit now and join again. Maybe this would enable me to see the screen. Oluwatosi, I'm going to come back to you, please. Let me just exit and join back.
So while we wait for Mr. Afolayan to join the meeting back, if you have any more questions, just drop it in the chat. Our time is fast spent. We need to end soon. Welcome back, sir. Can you see the screen?
I'm hoping so. I'm still waiting. Ah, I cannot see the screen. Still, it's just blank.
All right.
Of all day, went today, I had to leave my house with my MCN 5G router, hoping that it doesn't disappoint me where I am coming. And unfortunately, it's been doing that. I cannot see the screen. I'm so sorry.
All right, sir. Oluwatomi, could you ask your question before end the session?
Okay, thank you. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for the session. So I want to ask that for people that are still learning, not exactly that you don't have an experience, you have an experience, maybe you're still, but you're just learning, you're starting out. How would you advise one to make use of LinkedIn? Because as I think in the learning phase, one cannot exactly position oneself as an authority in the space, and neither can you say you don't know anything about it. So that middle ground, how can one navigate and use LinkedIn for one's benefit? That's my question.
Okay, so I'm trying to grab your question. You said, please, can you reiterate? I want to get the beginning part of what you said. I missed out on that, please.
Okay, so I said for someone that is learning, not someone that doesn't have any experience at all or has not done anything at all, does not have any tech skill, but this person is like learning already, is already in the field, but is not
Okay,
has not gotten any job or anything before, and is looking to use LinkedIn to his advantage.
okay, I get that now. All right. So one thing I am very certain about is utilizing social media as your build up story phase. So you're learning, you're not yet a professional, you're not yet an authority in that field that you are in. You are learning. You can always talk about it on LinkedIn. You see, it happens that you might think people are not seeing, but the sad reality is that they are seeing it. They might not even engage you. The opportunities might not even come instantly, but they see you and they see what you post. So even if it is what you're learning, you can still always talk about it. It is going to be a progress story at at the very point where you now get to become an authority in that space. Now, for example, what you're learning, you're let me say for example, okay, what are you learning exactly? Let me pick what you're learning as an example.
Okay, so I'm learning software engineering. I'm from the medical field. I'm a medical student looking to pivot into HealthTech. I'm learning software
All right.
engineering. Yeah.
Okay, good. Software engineering. Now, on your LinkedIn, you can always position yourself in the sense that if it is something new that you just learned on about software engineering, you can build up a story on it. It could be a story of, let me say, I cannot imagine myself as a medical student now having keen interest for software engineering. And I am so glad that today I learned and so on software engineering, and I cannot believe that my head is wrapping around this. Although I still find it difficult understanding this, but I know that it's interesting to me and I want to get better at it. Like this is just me giving a slight story for LinkedIn. Like this is something you can just type. It can be a storyline. I have a close friend of mine is a is a medical doctor, but he's not practicing right now. What he's practicing is the tech space. He's in the tech space. He's currently a digital marketer, and he wants to just have a digital learning academy, and we're building that. We're already building the software together. I'm not a software engineer, but we're already building. I'm building the content that is going to be on it and all. Now, if we want to build up a story from his own personal experience, which is something I'm very familiar with, I can just come up with a story one day and say it could just be me beginning my story. It can just be a 5 day storyline that I want to do. And I say a veterinarian turned digital marketer. Day 5 of me racking my head about if digital marketing is still going to give me that fulfillment that I want. This is a hook that would grab people to want to read that story you want to say. Then I begin with at first one thing that confused me in digital marketing was learning A/B testing. I did not know anything about running A/B testing when you want to run a digital ad, when you want to run a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad. But A/B testing has even made me understood that there is a phase where you run test and trial online, and which is not possible in the medical field. You cannot run test and trial with somebody's life. So it's a story that is me talk. It is me talking about what I am learning already. It's a process. It's a process until I become that authority. People will be able to reflect back on saying, "Oh, we knew when it started. We saw all these progress reports that he was giving to us online, and now look at where he is." Presently, I cannot look back at the very first set of videos I did when I started creating content. I cringe when I look at them. And that is because they are not as good as what I do now. But am I going to delete them from my page? No, because they are my success story. I can look back at them. People can even go down to my profile and see from where I started from, and they see how I kept on improving every day and every day. So in your own case, you you start the ladder from the bottom. You don't have to wait till you become an authority before you start positioning yourself. You can start positioning yourself even as a student in that software space that you are. Bring up a story and put something on LinkedIn. Let us know what you've learned today. You can just do a 10-day challenge on things I am beginning to learn in the software space that is entirely different from the field I am coming from. And you see that your story is going to attract people that even if they are not engaging, forget about the engagement. People are seeing it, and you would have stories to fall back on by the time they start seeing you as an authority. Because people will see that you are getting better every day. And maybe someone now needs a software engineer or someone who is in the software space to help him with a beginner's task. Because they've seen your post, they've seen the things you've said you've learned. They can just text you and come into your DM and say, "Oh, I see that you've passed through this beginner's phase of the software. Da 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 da. I need you on this project, and I need somebody by my side because I don't want to start teaching somebody from the scratch." You've positioned yourself. They don't have to even. They don't even need to go to those that are already authority in the space. Opportunities can find you in that place that you are. So I hope I've been able to answer your question, Oluwatomise.
Yes, you are. Thank you very much.
All right. So do we have any other question? I
Um,
saw the page. I saw the screen share appeared briefly, but now it's gone again.
oh, well,
I think it's my network issue.
the first page of your slide is currently being shared. Um,
Okay, your screen.
yes. However,
Okay.
our time is fast spent. We'd just like you to give conclusive remarks on how each part of our audience, I mean, each category of the people in our audience, we have clinical oriented people, when we have techies and non-clinical and non-tech individuals. So, could you just
Okay.
summarize how we can position ourselves to be seen in the HealthTech space? Thank you very much.
Okay. So you're asking those with clinical and non-clinical, tech and non-tech, how to position yourself to be seen in the health tech space. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah, some really. I'm sure you've
All
covered
right.
that in different instances during your
Yeah.
just to give a
Yes.
summary.
Exactly. Exactly. So to summarize everything I've said, there is there is nothing you want to position yourself for that is not possible. In as much as you are actively doing it and you are determined to committing yourself to doing it. So you don't have clinical experience, but you want to position yourself as an health tech person. Now let me use myself as an example. I did not do anything related to health or clinical stuff and all. But I can position myself as someone who has the knowledge of health tech. Reason being that first, I worked in a pharmacy as an HR personnel and operations manager, a pharmacy that I was overseeing 6 branches. In the process of overseeing these branches, I entered into the pharmacy with zero knowledge of clinical process and anything involving pharmacy. I had never even had the knowledge of pharmacy works before. But by the time I left that place, I was living with so much knowledge about the clinical activities. In the sense that while I was working there, I had close interaction with pharmacists, pharmacist assistants, intern, then every other department in the pharmacy. And because I was overseeing all of the branches, I could be anywhere at any time. And it got to a point I would just sit at the counter with the pharmacist and I want to see the way they attend to patients, all the software that the pharmacists are using. That was why I was able to mention ElectroClark earlier. The software they use, how they use them to do their inventory, how they sell out, how they change prices. I knew all of them before leaving because I was intentional about wanting to know them. That is why even till today, when my wife brings some drugs to the house, maybe she got them from the hospital, I can tell what these drugs are for. I can tell you that this is what this should stand for, and this should not go alongside this. I can tell that when I'm taking anti-malaria, I don't need to take blood tonic alongside. I don't need to take fruits or maybe orange juice or vitamin C alongside, because these are the things that by default I've been able to pick them while I was working in the pharmacy space. Now, with my tech knowledge, I learned the software. I use so many softwares for my own personal work. I use editing tools. I use these things. It can make me position myself. Now, currently, as I'm speaking with you, I recently had a meeting with the MD of what is this hospital? There's a hospital neurosurgical. I can't remember the name of the hospital. Pardon me. So I recently had a meeting with their MD, and the meeting we had is he wants me on board to be their content manager. Reason is that they want to start pushing content related to health, related to anything related to health, just something like the way Apoko Doctor does, but they want it to be like a podcast kind of setup. Because I have a doctor friend who is currently the CMO of SynLab. So he's my close friend, and they do their podcast in their own place. So this hospital also wants to adopt that style, and they need me on board as the content manager. Now, the moment I go there, I already have a bit of clinical experience because I worked in the pharmacy. I have so much experience with tech. Now, I edit videos, I direct videos, I work with people's videos, I can even talk on screen. All this knowledge is already having me as a perfect fit for that. I cannot say because I had not worked in a hospital before, I'm not a fit for it. No, I already gathered the knowledge and I am someone who can learn on the job. So what you should have at the back of your mind is you should be able to learn on the job. You should be teachable. You should always enter into an organization with an open mind. So you do not have clinical experience, you do not have tech experience. Begin from somewhere, even if it takes having to learn to intern somewhere. You must be intentional about it, because your intentionality is what will show in the work you do, is what is going to drive your passion for it. I reached out to one guy that is editing videos. He was part of the crew members of House of God, the King of Boys. He's part of their production team. He's part of those who is editing their videos and all. He works mainly into in the Nollywood space. I reached out to him recently that I want to intern under him. The reason is because I saw his videos online. I want to learn how to get better with the way I edit videos, with the lens with which I see video angles. I want to see it from another extra professional view. And he's ready to have a meeting with me. I think tomorrow is on. Yes, tomorrow we're having our meeting. I don't mind letting all my guards down to be a student under him. This is me being intentional about getting better with what I do. And if we have our conversation and it turns out to be successful, all that is just left for me to do is give him my itinerary and say, okay, these are the days of the week that I'll be available. Anything you want me to do, I'm at your service. We can go to locations together. I just want to learn. So that is me proving intentionality. So if you do not have these things that we talk about, you won't be able to go far. You must be intentional. You must be able to commit yourself to learning it. I ask questions a lot. When I was working with the pharmacists in the pharmacy I worked with, I asked so many questions. And the questions I ask, by the time I get answers, they they just stick to my head, and I even go as far as learning online. I have a lady currently, she's a barrister. Blessing. She went into, I think she did graduate training with a particular bank, I think Stanbic or UB, I cannot remember. She posted it on her Twitter recently, but she's my church member. So I was reading it from her Twitter page. And she said when she entered that banking space and everything, she's a law graduate too, but everything they were teaching, she had zero knowledge of it. They were talking about ledger, balance, debit, credit, and every other person in that place, they are graduate of accounting, those who already have the old knowledge of the basics. but she had zero knowledge of the basics. But she was fond of asking questions. She would be the one to ask, sir, which side is the debit, which side is the credit side? As basic as those questions are, she would ask. And people would just laugh at her and they say foolish questions that she's asking. But guess what? By the time they did their exams, she came out as the top graduating student amidst all those ones who have the knowledge and graduated with accounting. That is because she was intentional. She did not even stop at only asking stupid questions in class. She went to do her own assignments. She said in a tweet that she would call some of her classmates to explain some things to her because she was intentional. Imagine she had no banking background, no accounting background, and she's coming out as top in her class. So you without the tech skill, you without the clinical skill, you can come out as the best, even above those who have all these skills that you're looking at. In as much as you are intentional about it, you are committed to doing it, and you yearn for knowledge all the time. I hope I've not been speaking too much, please. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. So that's just to summarize it. I'm sorry my summary was long, but I just had to say it.
Yes, thank you so much, Sal, for a very innovative, very engaging, very elaborative session.